Alright, so we're back. I'm walking towards my case. I don't get to sit in the director's chair. Sometimes this is just kind of a very chill video. So far, actually, so since how I kind of told my story and did my story time, I've done, let me see here. So I did Don, I did Mikey, RJ, Thomas, Jeff, and then Cooper and Omals that I just did Omals today, and then I did Cooper's 2 days ago. But yesterday I was with Heap and Sergio shooting for for their own thing, but I was just kind of helping out. And then I kind of like got some more B-roll for Cooper's, and so right now I'm kind of gathering more material, more stuff from pictures they've had from their stories, people they talk about and people they've talked about. People who may or may not have been on the channel, maybe they haven't been on the channel yet, and so it's I'm kind of pushing it to the next level. But then what this kind of changes is that I can't really necessarily put out one video a day. Thank you. I can't really I can't really do one video a day because I need to wait for material and stuff, and I'm keeping the questions very what do you call it, like I don't tell them the questions ahead of time, and then unless you've been on it, you might guess what the questions are, but you don't know exactly what the questions are. And I kind of like to keep it genuine, keep it raw. I don't want it to be an interview format where it's like I ask you questions anymore, because it's not really genuine. You're not you kind of prep everything you want to say. When I just ask those questions right at the beginning, I don't have to continue asking them in between. They kind of already know. Everyone kind of already knows their own story about themselves and what they want to talk about. And obviously right now we're outside of, so this is a CenturyLink. This is where WeekFest happens every year. This is a roll-in one. This is the roll-in entrance. But ever since Don's started going, this is really picking up a lot more than, the response and the support has been overwhelming. It's something that I didn't really, I didn't expect it to be this way, and through this I'm learning, I get to know each and every one of these people better. So Omal I didn't really know at all, we just kind of knew who we were, and I hit him up today because he was kind of talking about his story through cars on his Instagram, on his story. And I just hit him up. I was like, hey, you down to do it? I was gonna take a break today. There's a lot of stuff going on. When I was filming Cooper's, the 2 days I was filming Cooper, I didn't sleep. So I didn't have a video to go up today. Yesterday was Monday. It's been my one day that I didn't have a video go up, which I was like super bummed about. I kind of failed in meeting my goal of doing one video a day. And today, I was actually going to put up a vlog, maybe that I had left over. Well, it's not really leftovers because I never published, but I kind of want to keep this channel strictly story time. Maybe some other stuff, but I really want to do this video because I want to let you guys know how I knew how I knew each and every one of them. Don, I actually met him back in 2012, I think. I didn't have a car. I just started doing photography. I don't remember exactly how I met him, but I think we just started talking and then shooting photos. We went and shot photos. I shot this really shitty set of photos for Don, and he ended up buying posters from that to support me, And then I met Johnny the same day, but Johnny we haven't got to quite yet. And then so after, let me see here. So after Don was Mike. So Mike, I actually went to high school with, or actually maybe I'll go back to Don a little bit. I didn't really know how, how his, what do you call it, like circle of friends perceived Don. I don't know what kind of person he was to them, but the more that I'm, interviewing people or doing story times with people who are good friends with Don, it's like I'm seeing like Don's, so much more to so many people. Me and him we've known each other for a long time, but I wouldn't say we're close, but I wouldn't say we're not close at the same time, And he's been very supportive of this the whole way. He's always reposting, always sharing, and a lot of people actually shared his video. And that's crazy. And showing like 12 years to build that car, that's something that I don't know, hopefully this car will stick with me for 12 years. I hoped it was the last one, but that's obviously doesn't, that didn't work out very well for me. And it's crazy. He's been supporting me so much through whatever way he can. And then next one, Mikey, I went to high school with. He's a class younger than me. And we didn't really hang out much in high school, but I remember when he had the S class and then he got the ITR. I think he might have gotten the ITR after I graduated, so the DC2. And then we really didn't start hanging out again until the later years when I got my cars, and then we kind of hung out with the same people. We knew the same people, like Frankie, Espen, Sheldon. Espen and Sheldon I went to the same school with as well, so in high school, but I haven't gotten to them yet either. And then Mikey's just always down. He's a funny guy, he's grown a lot. I've grown a lot, just kind of see each other from a distance, growing up and worrying about adult stuff and life stuff. And it's fun to catch up. It's always fun to hang out. And he's someone that Don, influenced a lot as well. And then after that we have RJ, and RJ was one of my friends that I met all, through my camera. I've met a lot of these people through my camera. I met RJ when he had his RX-7, and then, shot photos and stuff, obviously, and he's been supporting me a lot. And I knew he was going through rough times, but I didn't necessarily think that, it was so bad to the point where he thought about, suicide. Like, he wasn't even thinking about it. He was so close to pulling the trigger, as he said, and, that hurt a lot, knowing that someone, that's, close to you as a friend that, could have been gone, wouldn't have been here. And motorcycles is something that saved him as a hobby that kept him going. And that was also something that kept me going during my darker times. Granted, I've had a lot of dark times and dark incidents, but motorcycles have been, cruising around and, even cruising around in my car. That's kind of my one relief. That's crazy. And RJ said that he had felt a lot better actually after doing this, after doing story time, and that it's kind of therapy in a way, I guess, is how you put it. And that really meant a lot to me. I really want to make an influence on on people's lives. Maybe people I know, maybe people I don't know. And then after RJ, it was Thomas. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at remembering things. I had so many things going on in between. And then Thomas was someone who just was friends with, with Mikey, Frankie, Don, all those guys. They're, a really big but also tight-knit group of people is how I kind of feel. And at the same time, during that time when I saw Thomas for the first time, I was kind of like timid, I was, I'm actually a very shy and nervous person, which you may not think of me that way. But I've been constantly pushing myself outside of my own, comfort zone, because to do what I want to do, to influence the people I want to influence, inspire the people I want to inspire, it's something that, I didn't ask for. This is what I got. I got social media attention from my car, from my photography, and I really want to put it to better use. And so anyways, getting through that, talked to Thomas, started meeting more people. And, Thomas is really down to earth. A lot of people are actually really down to earth, but you may just be intimidated to talk to someone you don't know. Granted, I've done that still today, like last weekend or 2 weekends ago with Nakai, I was actually really nervous. Like if you ask Mark, Charles, or Amir, or any of those guys, they'll tell you I was timid as shit. You will watch, like, if they had the video, if they recorded me when I was like there, it was so awkward. I was so like nervous, but everyone thinks that I'm really cool as a Nakai, this and that, but it's so funny to see how that I can kind of deceive, people through these pictures and through these videos. It's not the whole story, don't ever think this one picture or this one video represents the whole thing, that's not the truth. You gotta ask the person for the truth, if they want to tell you, they'll tell you. Obviously, like me, I'm going to tell you straight up that I was nervous as shit. I was so awkward. I didn't know what to talk to him about, I didn't have an RWB. I wasn't going to talk to him about my S2000. I mean, granted, I can actually speak mediocre Japanese, and I can understand a decent amount. So that's one more thing about me. And it's back on track. Thomas's EG was something that I really like. It just struck me. Cool cars. Good builds. It's something that just comes out of my gut feeling. I kind of see it and it just makes me feel some type of way. And I didn't really know too much about his story, his car. And then when I did the story time with him, I had to sit down. I learned so much about him. I'm actually the one person, or maybe him and his girlfriend, but depending on who I'm recording, I might be the only person behind that camera. I might be the only audience member, but I'm learning so much from it. And obviously off camera, we talk about a lot more too, and we learn so much more about each other. And it just helps me to get to know everyone better. And Thomas actually missed something about his car. He didn't say that he put brand new bolts in the transmission, basically brand new bolts for anything on the car. Brand new moldings, brand new seals, brand new tail lights. So he actually, that car is basically a new car. If there's anything that he could get new for it, he basically got. I think there was something else that he didn't get brand new, but it was in really good condition, and so that's one thing. But he's open, he's down to helping me. Like I mentioned, my quarter panel that I need to cut more of, he's like, I got a grinder, come down, let's do it, Just the community around here is so welcoming, so helpful to each other, so willing to support each other. It's crazy, and that's kind of why I want to show everyone that this is what the people in the Northwest are like. This is the people who mean a lot to me. Granted, there's people like Omal who, I'm not close friends with him. I'm barely, I could say I was acquaintances with him before we actually did story time. But it's so easy to connect with one another. Me and Omal went to the same middle school and the same high school. We didn't know that. Neither of us knew that. Both grew up in the South End, in South Seattle, seeing the same shit. Shootings, gang violence. We grew up through that shit. We saw that shit, firsthand. And it's just crazy to know that. And then we get to Jeff, and Jeff was someone who, I didn't know Jeff. I don't really remember when I actually met him. But, I knew that he was associated with Kansai. I knew that he had the Cyber DC2. And at the time, there were just a lot of rumors, about, the Joey thing. Joey was pissed off that, Jeff couldn't make it with the DC2. And then Jeff said that, he didn't want to shoot or feature a car that wasn't running under its own power. And then he told me how the whole situation went down. They talked it out. Apologies were made. Just adult, grown-up things. And then there were rumors between him and Hui. That other people were spewing. And those are questions that those are things that I just always heard. I never really asked anyone about it. Maybe I'm just tired of the drama shit. I'm tired of, I didn't really have much friends in high school. So I was just fucking tired of drama. And then, Citrus, what was Citrus? I didn't put photos in there, but, that was what, he explained it, why his thing is still Citrus. And, he painted Joe's wheels, and then Joe and Sergio were hanging out with him more. Me and Jeff live really close to each other. Yeah, me and a lot of guys, actually, we live in a very close general area. Well, my parents, basically where I grew up. And then, Jeff is an OG for sure, along with some of the other guys in the South End that I haven't really gotten to. He talks about the new kids, so I guess considering the new kids, that would be, me, Mike, Espen, Omal, Sheldon, our age group kind of guys, and then Don is an OG, Ron, all these people that I haven't gotten to yet, and we're all just hanging out together and just sharing the same passion. Granted, we're, anywhere from, 5 years, 10 years apart in age difference, even more, but we're still here talking about the same things. They're helping us grow up, and I just kind of want to help. I kind of want to make the car community better. I really think that the car culture and the car community, for the new kids, for the new day and age, is kind of bullshit. It's really all about clout, all about fame, and it's not, Look at me, I have 24,000 followers. What am I going to do with it? A lot of people sponsor their posts, not necessarily even to promote their business. If it was to promote their business, that's great. You know, I support the hustle. But a lot of people want to do it just to be like, hey, I have 24,000 followers, I'm Instagram famous, I'm important, I'm somebody. You know, something that a lot of people in that I've asked to do story time, that have done story time, they don't think they're anyone. You know, they don't think they're hot shit. Maybe in the past when they're younger, maybe, you know, I was one of those people. But now, most definitely, they don't think that way. You know, we all think we're not very important. We think we're no ones. But as a collective, you know, we've created this very tight-knit community that supports each other so much. And one thing I actually kind of noticed was that, you know, the number one subscriber or one like or one view, it's just the number one. It's a very small number, but I don't know who the person behind that number one is. That one number, it could be someone who I looked up to growing up, or doing my car things, doing my photography things, you know, people I looked up to when I was kind of getting into the scene or whatever you want to call it. And that's really what is most striking to me. There's actually a lot of people who are very influential. There's a lot of people who I don't know about. There's a lot of people who I haven't met yet that are still willing to support me and give me words of advice and guide me, because everyone really enjoys what I'm doing. And I'm not doing this for the fame. You know, the fame, I want it. I want to be famous. I want to be straight up and be real. I want to be famous. I want the whole world to know my name so that I can kind of tell the world about, you know, show the world what the people around me, the people who mean a lot to me, the people who have helped me, what their words are, how they wish to make this community a better place, make maybe the world a better place. And this is a project that's, you know, involved with cars, but I hope it goes further than that. You know, progress has been going, you know, the support has been overwhelming. You know, I'm kind of overwhelmed because there's a lot of things I need to do and a lot of things I need to plan, especially because now I want to travel the US. I want to go across the world. I want to go across the country and do these story times all over. I want to get to know these people one-on-one, firsthand, and share their message with the world. Share their struggles, share their passion. You know, right now it's kind of a lot of Hondas because it's focusing on it's on going on a storyline, on a timeline. So everyone who's really big into the, you know, Honda game or the JDM game is kind of involved with each other in one way or another. And it's kind of a story. I kind of don't want to break it, so I might even have to split these series up into specific categories, specific timelines, so everyone kind of knows who the character is, you know, who this person is, and what role they play in the story time. And I'm even unraveling more and uncovering more of this story as we go. It's crazy. And then, you know, there's so many things I want to talk about. I'm just like, right now, there's so many things going through my head. So much planning with, you know, story time. You know, I really want to do apparel and stickers or whatever, you know, merchandise, simply to support the, you know, going on this journey, because I know this is not, you know, I can't really save money, so now I really have no choice but to save money. So I want to go down to Chronicles, you know, year 11, so that's in California, and I think that's going to be the time when I'm going to embark on the journey, or whatever you want to call it. It's crazy. I never thought I'd be here doing this story time. I never thought I'd be who I was. I never thought I'd have this following. I never thought I'd have this huge group of influential people supporting me and, you know, watching me and keeping tabs on me. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just some kid whose parents are from Hong Kong, who was born in Seattle, somehow learned Mandarin, got involved with the baller rich Chinese kids, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and you know, I grew up in the South End. I grew up in the hood, but everyone thinks I'm this rich kid. So it's my story is whack in the first place, I guess. I'm a nobody. I'm a fucking nobody. I just drive a Honda. Just drive a Ferrari, right? But I think we might end today's video here. Just kind of wanted to give everyone a little backstory on how I know these people, how they mean a lot to me. And actually, before I end, you know, Cooper is. I met Cooper through a shift job. He mentions it in his video. I think I knew his car. He knew my car off Instagram. But I was selling this knob. You know, Cooper met up with me. He came from Olympia, picked it up, and that was that. We've been friends, you know. And I went to his house for the first time. He showed me his amazing collection. He, you know, gave me some cool things. You know, he taught me a lot. I learned a lot from Cooper. I learned a lot from all these people. Messages, you know, about cars, about them. It's crazy. It's so much fun. It's so enjoyable. And that's something that, you know, my question to everyone is that, you know, are you doing something that has meaning, that has purpose to you? Because I think that's the question that I've been thinking for the longest. You know, I always thought car photography was going to be my way out when I was younger, you know, but I kind of realized photography nowadays has no meaning. Everyone has a camera, everyone's taking photos, everyone's, you know, quote unquote making money. Market's also saturated. There's no backstory behind the photos. It's all about dope cars and IG clout and fame. The things that'll be repetitive in this video, topics. How life goes. But now I'm sitting here making videos that I never thought I'd make. I didn't want to do video. It wasn't. I wanted to, but I wasn't good enough. I'm still not good enough. There's still so many things I have to learn. And especially going on this trip and having to manage this whole thing and actually doing adulting, there's so many things I have to learn. I don't have a college degree. I don't have a specific major. I'm learning all these things. I'm reading all these books on how to do things. I'm reading all these articles online. I'm having friends help me, give me advice, give me tips. You know, there's so many people, so many things helping me along the way. And I hope I can be helpful. I hope you guys can learn and grow with me as well. Storytime is not a one and done video. Maybe a year, maybe half a year, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, we'll come back, we'll do it again. But there's so many people that I want to go and do. I don't feel like I have enough time in this lifetime to get to those people, you know, who knows? Yeah, I think we'll end the video here. It's kind of long already. And I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere, as usual.